Hello and welcome back to Persona 4 Golden. Last round we, well, Nanako gave us a scare for a second as we all thought she died. But, then afterwards we confronted Namatame, or tried to. And Nanako got better after we convinced everyone not to kill Namatame. Let's head from here on. I'm very tired. Hurry and get some rest for today. Let us get some rest. This.
Welcome. It's been quite some time.
We've been summoned to the Velvet Room.
Do not be alarmed. You are fast asleep in the real world. I have summoned you within your dreams. Now then, your journey has taken you quite a distance thus far. Do you believe you'll be able to successfully solve this mystery?
I can solve it.
Splendid! The precise destination of this vehicle, that too is getting rather hard to judge. If we continue driving blindly, we may end up leading you further away from the mystery that you must reach. Well, why don't we take a moment to look back on your journey? It was for that purpose that I summoned you here tonight. Margaret?
This you heard many times before echo in your mind.
I can't ignore that fact any longer. I need to face the truth head on.
What's right? What you should choose to do in life? The answers to those things lie within you.
I'm going to think about my life and set my own path.
We are experiencing the words engraved into your memory during your journey.
Failing to understand and failing to listen are rather different things.
All right, let's go ahead and think this through as much as we need.
If we leave any unanswered questions behind, we'll just be lying to ourselves.
I'll think as hard as I can and try to help.
Come on, we've accomplished this much together, haven't we?
Right. Together.
And it seems you have comrades with you as well. Those heading in the same direction through this dense fog.
Car stopped moving.
We'll be parked for the moment while I confirm our current heading.
As I mentioned previously, this year will signal a great change in your life. Though there isn't much time left, it can be worth your while to take the time to stop and reflect.
People are like water flowing in a river. There is only one stream, but all who pass through it are affected differently. Some travel fast, some change their course, experiencing countless events as they travel down the river of time.
Just so. The state of this room reflects the scenery of your heart. Perhaps this may be a time for contemplation rather than action.
Here's something in the distance. Seems you've been sleeping until now. You hear the doorbell ring. Someone seems to be at the door.
Teddy's missing. I looked all over the neighborhood, but I couldn't find him anywhere.
I'm worried.
Yeah, me too. He was acting all weird lately. Rise and the others are checking inside the TV to see if he's gone back to the other side. We're meeting pretty soon, so will you come with me to Jeunesse?
Could have Teddy have gone? Decided to go look for him.
It's no use, man. We can't find him.
No luck for me either. I didn't sense anything over there. The fog's so dense it might be affecting my readings. I wish I could do better. I'm sorry.
Ted. Don't tell me he really went back to his world this time. We told him over and over that he could stay here.
Oh, mysterious dream you had last night. Have conflict rather than action. That's what Igor said. But think about this.
I guess that's all we can do right now. He plays dumb a lot, but he's attached to us deep down. He wouldn't disappear without saying anything, right?
I'm worried for Teddy myself, but let's trust in him and await his return. Right now, we must concentrate on the case. It won't be long before Namatame is transferred to another location. We must hurry, or we will miss our only chance to get his perspective on this.
You know, I've been thinking about the case since, but something just doesn't seem right.
Let's quickly review the facts. Of all the victims, only 2 were killed, Miss Yamano the announcer and Saki-san. From the documents we found in the car, we know Namatame had some sort of dealings with them. After that, there were multiple attempted murders in which we were targeted. It was only when he took Nanako-chan that we caught him in the act, identifying his modus operandi in the process.
When I hear you put it like that, sounds like the dude's guilty.
As a result of Namatame's arrest, the police admitted that Mitsuo Kubo was a mere copycat killer.
Back up to yesterday. Remember when you said Namatame didn't have a motive to kill the announcer? That's what's bothering me.
Right. Either he's completely nuts, or we're misunderstanding something.
You lost me.
She's trying to say that if Namatame is sane, then there may be facts in the case we don't know about yet.
Sane or insane? Sounds like a play I saw before.
When he talks about saving people, what does that actually mean? I don't think there's any doubt that it includes kidnapping people and throwing them into the TV.
Could he mean saving them through death? He did call himself a savior and said that the other side is a wonderful world.
So they'll be saved if they die? What a bunch of crap! The bastard should have gone and saved himself! What do you think, Senpai?
There's something else.
If you think about it normally, it's gotta be him. But there ain't nothing normal about that world anyways.
There's something I've been wondering about for a while. When we first encountered him, he said, "You're the ones I saved. Don't worry, I'll save this girl too." So, if he saves people by killing them, did he save us too? Wouldn't he actually have failed to save us?
You raise a good point. If he thinks that salvation comes only through death, his words to us make no sense. And another thing, the Namatame who appeared on the Midnight Channel said he failed to save Nanako-chan.
Well, maybe he really was trying to save the victims by putting them inside the TV. Come on, don't get all quiet like that. You guys know I just say the first dumb thing that pops into my head.
The possibility that he truly intended to save us.
But he's still the one who threw in Saki-senpai and that announcer, right? Sure, we haven't nailed down his motives, but that doesn't change the fact that he killed them. Or what? You think someone else was involved? What makes you think so?
Possibility of a culprit besides Namatame. Could there be something that proves this possibility? The warning letter.
Warning letter? Oh yeah! Whatever happened to that thing?
If Namatame's the killer, he must have been the one who wrote it, right?
Let's review them.
Well, the first warning letter said, "Don't rescue anymore." The second one said, "If you don't stop this time, someone close will be put and killed."
Yes, that's right.
Isn't that kinda odd? Would someone who thinks he's saving people by killing them write stuff like, "Don't rescue or kill"?
Yeah, and the will be put in and killed part doesn't make sense either. If the killer was writing it, wouldn't it be more like, "I'll put in and kill"?
Hey, could this mean...
Namatame didn't write it.
Yeah. It's almost like Someone else wrote this letter.
But only the killer would write such a letter and deliver it to Dojima-san's house, right? If someone else wrote it, that could only mean...
Dear God. Since this is such an unusual case, I was absolutely convinced that other than the Kubo incident, there was one culprit.
So, Namatame really was trying to save his victims?
Everything is exactly the opposite of what it first seemed. In Namatame's parlance, failing would have been the first 2 cases when the victims died. If he had used his method twice and failed both times, he would hardly have continued using the TV. And yet he did. It all seems to suggest that someone else wrote this warning letter while observing the entire case.
Someone else? Then, it wasn't Namatame that killed Saki-senpai and the announcer?
We can't say for certain yet. We urgently need to speak with Namatame face to face.
Or to take another step towards the truth.
How though? After what happened yesterday, they said they're gonna tighten security.
I have a plan. But there's no time to waste. Let's hurry to the hospital.
Hey, this place is off limits.
I'm a consultant with the police. I'd like a few words with Namatame-san. May I go in?
This is Unit 252, requesting confirmation on an ID. Name of Naoto Shirogane. Huh? Ah, understood. I see. Well, you're on the list. I can give you a few minutes, but I'll have to record your conversation with him for security purposes. Not that I expect you'll get anything coherent out of the guy. He's been spouting nothing but gibberish.
I'd like him to accompany me as well. He has no identification, but this is an emergency situation, and he's here in Detective Dojima's stead.
Huh? Detective Dojima sent him? I wasn't informed of this.
I'll vouch for his identity.
Well, I guess it's better than dealing with the man himself. We have our hands full with the transport procedures, so the last thing we need is Detective Dojima running wild. Detective Adachi is busy somewhere too. This is Unit 252. Huh? I see.
Has something happened?
There's something about a suspicious object out in the lobby.
Ah, well then, this works out nicely. You should back up your colleagues downstairs. We'll keep watch over Namatame-san. A disturbance in a hospital lobby, after all. It sounds serious.
If anything happens, hit the nurse call button. I'll leave the rest to you.
Understood. Please be careful. I knew they were undermanned, but I didn't expect it to go this smoothly.
Wow!
There's nothing much inside that suspicious object, so he won't be gone long.
All right, and now's our chance to talk to Namatame.
Namatame-san, there's something we'd like to ask you. It's tempting to think that you were the culprit behind this entire case. And to be honest, there are many in this town who hope you are. But we are here to learn the truth. So please, answer our questions.
Huh?
Seems like he understands what you're saying. What should you ask him? Who'd you throw in first?
Huh? Me?
What should you ask him? Did you kill those 2 girls?
They were killed. I couldn't save them.
Is saving killing people?
No. If nobody saves them, they'll be killed. That's why I put them in there.
Then tell me if my estimation is correct so far. After discovering the Yamano and Konishi incidents, you realized an appearance on the Midnight Channel meant certain death. Thus, to save her from that fate, you kidnapped Yukiko Amagi. You couldn't let her be killed, so you threw her into the TV, preventing the killer in this world from reaching her. And you repeated the process as more individuals appeared on the Midnight Channel. It all falls into place. His body is weak, but his mind is sound. He's trying to tell us the truth.
Yeah, but if the stuff he's saying is true...
There's another killer who murdered the first two victims?
Indulge us in a few more questions.
Who killed the first two?
I have no idea. I want to know that too.
Why the warning letters?
What are you talking about?
Why did you enter the TV?
I didn't know. I never thought it would be that kind of place.
As I thought.
You believe me? Did they find him? Did they find the one who did such cruel things? Mayumi.
Please calm down. Our ability to find the culprit rests on you. We know about the other world. In fact, we're the only ones who can fully understand what you have to say.
Only you?
We did blame you for everything at first, but now I think we can accept whatever you got to tell us as truth.
Please. Tell us everything you can, calmly and slowly.
You're willing to listen? Do my story? All right. Soon after my affair with Mayumi became common knowledge, I returned to my parents' home, as if to run away from the scandal. And I started drinking heavily to drown my anxieties. I hadn't been able to reach Mayumi at all, and that didn't help either. Mayumi, where are you? She'd been disgraced on all the afternoon shows, and forced to resign from the program she was on. I caused her so much trouble. I wanted to at least apologize to her, but I couldn't even do that. I lost the will and energy to do anything. Then, one day, the rumor I heard some time ago came back to me. Since I had nothing better to do, I sat down blankly in front of the TV and watched my own reflection. And all of a sudden, there was Mayumi. Mayumi? Is that you? The Mayumi inside the TV looked as if she was calling to me for help. Mayumi? Mayumi! When I reached out unthinkingly to touch her, my arm disappeared into the TV, as if I had dipped it into a pool of water. I was so shocked that I lost my balance and nearly fell face first into the TV. I was so scared. I couldn't understand what just happened. I thought maybe I'd gone insane. In the end, I decided to think of it as just a dream, and I went back to the city the next day after finishing work. The next afternoon when I got to work, I was fired on the spot, as I expected. That wasn't what broke me, though. It was Mayumi being found dead. And not just that, but it had happened in my hometown.
Namatame is casting his eyes downward painfully.
I was dumbstruck. But later on, I remembered the image of Mayumi I'd seen that night. Was it not a dream? Could it really have been an SOS from Mayumi? I hadn't touched another TV because the first time was so terrifying, but I decided to try it again, and I confirmed that none of it was a dream. So that image, was it something Mayumi showed me, calling for help? That's how I felt.
And eventually, you learned of the Midnight Channel.
I remembered that when Mayumi was alive, she was chasing a rumor about some bizarre TV program. I'd heard about it before, but I thought it was just an urban legend. But then Mayumi appeared on it, and later turned up dead. The more I thought about it, the harder it became to believe that the two events were unrelated. Soon after that, I came back to Inaba to answer the police's questions. I'd lost my job, and I wanted to know the truth of Mayumi's death for myself. She looked like she was calling for help, just like Mayumi. Then, on another rainy night, someone else appeared on the Midnight Channel. It was a girl. She looked like she was calling for help, just like Mayumi. The first thing that came into my mind was, maybe this girl will be the next to die.
And that was Saki-senpai.
I'd been following all the news about Mayumi, so I noticed right away that she was the girl who found Mayumi's body. And if my hunch was right, she'd be the next victim. I didn't want her to die the way Mayumi did, so I desperately kept watching. I was consumed with the idea of rescuing her. Then, little by little, her image on the screen came into sharper focus.
It became sharper?
How did you find out it was her?
After I came back, my father couldn't bear to see me in such low spirits, and gave me a job with the family business. I met that girl when I delivered a package to the liquor store. After agonizing over it, I decided to meet her, and told her to be careful. But that same night, on the TV, she looked as if she was being engulfed by some black shape. She was writhing in pain. That's why I warned her. Why won't she pick up the phone? Come on, please! The next day, they found her dead. I knew she was gonna be murdered, but I couldn't save her. I blamed myself, thinking there must have been something I could have done. There was no one who depended on me. Nobody at work, not even my wife. Mayumi was the only one who accepted me for who I was. But she was murdered, and the same person killed another girl. I was beside myself. I couldn't forgive myself for doing nothing.
You really did love Miss Yamano.
Yes, from the bottom of my heart. Before I was married, my wife made it big in show business. I was happy for her, but it put a strain on our relationship.
I think I can kind of relate.
It was around that time when I met Mayumi. She was interviewing our candidate for the next election. She was a big-name announcer, but she only worked with local stations, and her attitude towards work was similar to mine. We both came from Inaba, so she was easy to talk to. I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't help getting intimate with her. She gave meaning to my life. Soon after Saki-san was found dead, yet another girl appeared on TV. That was you. She'll be kidnapped next, and murdered. I can't let her end up like Mayumi and that other girl. This time, I'm gonna do something. My opponent was a murderer who left no clues to his identity.
I thought hard about what I could do to protect her from someone like that. I'll never convince her. If she gets suspicious and they arrest me, who'll save her then? The girl inside the TV looked as if she was smiling at me. And that's when it hit me. I apparently had the power to go through the TV screen to the other side. Then, what if I put her into the TV and give her shelter there before the killer gets her? What are you trying to tell me? That it's safe over there? Is that it? The girl inside the TV seemed to smile at me again. And I thought, no matter what kind of place it might be, it's better than being slaughtered. Once things calm down, I could just let her out again. If she's inside the TV, there's no way they can find her. It felt as if everything was starting to come together in my mind. Could it be that Mayumi gave me that power to prevent any more victims from meeting her fate? Was it my mission to save people? But there was a big problem. If I explained the situation to the victim, they wouldn't understand. I had already tried that and failed miserably. It seemed the only thing I could do was to take them away. If that was my mission, I'd just have to do it. Or so I thought. Mayumi, please lend me your strength.
So, since you thought people who appeared on the Midnight Channel would be killed, you kidnapped us in order to save us.
Mission? Give me a break! You never stopped and wondered about any of this?
I thought I was the only one who could help them. I did call the police, but they didn't believe me. I knew the area well, thanks to my job. I had a large truck, and I could move around without suspicion. I thought my job as a delivery man would be the perfect cover for my mission. I thought no one else could do it. But are you telling me that I wasn't saving them?
If a person is still within the TV world when the fog appears here, they will die. Beginning with Yukiko-san, the people you thought you had been saving were, in fact, in mortal peril. It was my friends here who really saved us all.
I had a feeling that was it. When I went after that little girl and entered the TV myself, for the first time, I had some doubts about myself.
You refer to Nanako-chan, correct?
The police were after me, so I had to get away. But I still felt I needed to do everything I could to save that poor little girl. That's why I went in after her. But the TV world was completely different than I imagined. Such an abominable, grotesque place. I knew that the three of you who I saved went back to your normal lives, so I didn't realize how terrible that world was.
Three of you that you saved. Wouldn't that be 4?
I never knew. You couldn't even get out of that place on your own. No. That's a cowardly way to put it.
Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'd probably already begun to realize that it was a dangerous place. If I hadn't, I wouldn't have gone to see you all.
See us? Wait, are you talking about the concert we did at Juness?
Yes. I wanted to know why the ones I saved were all hanging out with each other, and how much you remembered. But in the end, I couldn't bring myself to say anything and ran home. I must have felt too guilty. But all the doubts and anxieties I'd been unconsciously suppressing exploded out when I entered the television myself. I thought I was going insane. I probably did. And you know the rest. When I came to, I was lying in a hospital bed.
You really were trying to save people.
But I ended up doing just the opposite. What a fool. I always wanted to enter the world of politics and become useful to society. But after losing my job and the woman I loved, all I had left was this power. I convinced myself that world was some sort of sanctuary, and I secretly believed myself to be a hero. I never doubted what I saw on TV, and believed everything was as I wanted it to be. I didn't think for myself at all. That's why I couldn't protect them. I'm to blame for all of this.
What's done is done.
I suppose so. But the things I've done are too serious to be brushed aside like that. I have no intentions of running away from my crimes. I'm prepared to face the consequences. Kidnapping is already a serious crime. And on top of that, I put all those lives in danger. I'm sorry.
The Midnight Channel and the other world? You can hardly be blamed for failing to understand them properly. We must apologize to you as well. Had we let our emotions blind us to the truth, we would have piled all the responsibility on you.
I guess from your point of view, people did stop dying once you started saving people. The more you did it, the more you really believed you were preventing their deaths.
I'm such a joke. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little tired.
What are you all crammed in here for?
My apologies. We'll be leaving now.
Wait. I beg you, please, find whoever's behind this. You children are the only ones who know about that world.
Don't worry.
It's all clear now. He never committed any murders. It was another party who threw the first 2 victims into the TV.
Another step towards the truth. Because truth social link reached level 3. Our great percentage of the judgment incarnate has grown.
Now get out of here! I told you, he's almost ready to be transported. We can't have anything else happen. Sheesh. I better not see you rascals here again.
Nanako-chan looks like she's in pain. She's fighting for dear life.
This was the last place we saw Teddy, right? He was so worried about her.
How can he flake out like this when we have to find the real killer?
The police consider the matter closed. We'll have to do all the investigation from here on out. Let's revisit Saki-san and Miss Yamano's incidents and see if we can turn up fresh details.
But it's been over 6 months. Wouldn't the trail be cold by now?
I know, but we can't give up. We're the only ones who understand what's really going on. And you never know. People might remember some things now because they've had so much time to think about it. Let's split up and talk to people all over town tomorrow. We'll meet up in the evening to discuss our findings.
I hope we can find out something about Teddy, too.
Be going out to talk to people in town. Let's finally help uncover the information that will lead you to the true culprit. Go home early today and get some rest. Evening. Go to sleep. Monday the 5th. Today's the day off. Is the day the school is found, so you have the day off from school. Let's get to town. Central Shopping District. Let's save. I've been doing this a few times. Can I help you? What was murder? Incident last spring? Don't know what happened. Big deal, wasn't it? Forgot about that. Wow, must be getting old, huh? Talking about? Yeah, did all that happen last spring? Wow, it seems so long ago. So they have that far back. Makes me feel like we're still inside the TV. No use worrying about it now. step up and search and get that info. Conspiracy. You know what I heard it was? Junes, that's right, Junes! Country Junes is staging an all-attack on Inaba. Plotline of my fort. Puts out the pilot for my fort. That's unforgivable. Allows me to stave off the cold and the elements from invading my art studio. Because shut down in the middle of winter like this, how am I supposed to make a living? Information on what happened before entry TV world? You know, about the first murder, I wonder why it happened. I don't gather as much. Yeah, see you around later. One guy earlier, but he didn't even see me with the fog and all. Norden walked off. It wasn't personal, but it kinda hurt. Second, he spoke to me. Asked for her autograph and what type of guy she's into. What do you want? I'm sure you can see how busy. Capture system put it on the case. Very busy talking to Rizette right now. Teddy too, but I'm surprised how many people actually remember him. Like, oh yeah, that guy in the bear suit from Junes. But no one's seen him yet, yesterday or today. He's loved by so many people, where the heck could he have gone? Oh god, everyone just forgets it so easily. Rumors they hear from a friend on TV get rumored for a long time. Why is that? Think, well, anyone still remembers them? Question for me? I say this was it was in the newspaper. Now tell me something, right? We're seeing him around from time to time. Horrible, read does frighten me. Do you know those suspicious individuals? Call anyone suspicious? Good news, Dan Denumikan's house. Hey, listen. Sound would be great. Yeah, sounds are great. Acquire coal. Checked out. I wonder where I can buy gas masks, and you get one. Everyone else has one already. Hey, on my side, well, home I just see more news about the murder. Then here I watch sunset. Of course, when I watch TV, when I go home anyways. Then I can't see the sun because of the fog. I hate it so depressing. Question? Small town. If there's anyone suspicious, there will be rumors going all over town. At least I haven't heard any news or rumors like that, so I'd say there's no such person. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Shopping district south. Suspicious person. Can't think of it, not from this town anyway. Pretty sure, when I say if I had, I'm pretty sure I remember. Let's see now. Okay. Let's ask this old man about the murder, see if he has anything special to say. Do you have anything to say about the murders? Is that caught? What else is there? Okay. Let's go to the shrine, see if anyone's here. That's not. Girls chase me around, but it's boring because I can't play soccer now. Leave the shopping district. Your next department store. Right now, so. Simplest way. Commonality between the two. Maybe there's someone missing. Scrap data could be useful in our house mall. Anything not long ago? Then for college things. Nope. Use this information like that. My friend is saying she saw someone. I think she's wandering shopping district. I'll ask her. Jess? Okay, let's see. Oh, that. Saki Konishi, don't you? You know, she passed away a while ago. A Namatami person came up to her and started spouting all this craziness. What that was about? His relation to Saki? I don't know what you're implying, but you've got it all wrong. Saki was a good girl, it's just people misunderstood her. Namatami tried to warn Saki. The thing about Namatami making advances on Saki was misunderstanding. Shopping District North. Okay, anything else? Well, let's head over to the Samigawa floodplain. Few of those over the head. Anything? What happened? But what can I say? A lot of time's passed. A lot of people come to our store, but I can't say anyone's particularly suspicious. Kitty. Need something? Down all buzz. You are, don't you? I don't know. All the country is walking around, everyone know about it quick. Riverbank. Did I ask you about anyone suspicious? No, I didn't want to go to the riverbank. I want to go into town. Yeah, I want to save real quick. One last time. Shopping District North. Aside from Namatami? Nope, don't think so. Report back to the group. How about we do that? Well, let's do that now. Evening. Chinese diner, Aya. Met with friends after finished gathering information.
I'm seriously pooped. This stuff's a lot harder when you don't have a badge to flash. I walked around all day and didn't hear anything good.
It was the same for me. There was absolutely no talk about the case whatsoever, let alone the true culprit.
Ditto for me. Actually, in my case, I kept getting bombarded with questions and couldn't get them onto the main subject at all. The killer must be pretty good to have pulled this off without being seen by anyone in this small town.
What should we do?
Well, one steak bowl, please.
That's not what I meant. But then again, I guess we might as well take a break. I'll have a crab and egg fried rice.
I'll have roast pork ramen with extra noodles.
Finish eating the dishes that you ordered.
Oh, now that our tummies are full, let's share what we learned, even if it wasn't much.
About the information you got today.
So, to sum up, there really was no new information. The end?
The police had an unusually large number of officers in their initial investigation of the first two incidents. To find facts that even they overlooked would be difficult indeed, now that over half a year has passed. There wasn't a single report of suspicious persons being witnessed to begin with. Miss Yamano had ardent fans, whereas Saki-san didn't, but otherwise the conditions are the same.
You know, every time I tried to ask about the case, everyone ignored me and kept ranting about the damn fog.
Yeah, that or the Midnight Channel. I asked around about Teddy too, but no one's seen him. Gee, I wonder where he could have gone.
Do you have anything, Naoto? Any new, deductions?
Without any new data to work with, there isn't much I can do. But there must be someone in town who meets all the criteria for this case. The killer must have a connection to both Saki-san and Miss Yamano, as well as be in a position to observe our actions periodically to some extent. Finally, it must be someone who could approach Senpai's house without arousing suspicion. I need some fresh air before I give it more thought. I'll be outside.
Just in here won't help you think any better. So go out and get some fresh air.
It's snowing. No wonder it's chilly.
Ugh, it's freezing out here. Maybe this'll help clear my head and get my deductive muscles flexing. Hey, is it snowing? Too bad the fog's so thick. The snow just gets lost in it.
Must have been something that's been overlooked. Ernie, get over the roadblock facing you. The clues you need must be already in your hand.
What's the matter?
Go over everything you know one more time. The culprit has some form of connection with both Mayumi Yamano and Saki Kunishi. Judging by the warning letters, the culprit most likely knows about the other side and what you did there. Highly likely, they also knew what Namatame was doing and stood back and watched. Who would know all of these things? Another oddity about the case is that there are almost no witnesses. Both warning letters have been placed directly to your house, but no one saw anything suspicious. No one unusual was seen around Mayumi Yamano or Saki Konishi either. Despite the police dispatching an unusually high number of officers to perform a thorough investigation, it must have been someone in the small town who fits all the facts. The person who seems to be most likely culprit is someone else. Toro Adachi. Of course, if you look at it only at the circumstances, you can't completely rule out the possibility. Adachi may have been able to keep an eye on your actions. He would have been able to approach your house with ease, and he knows the area well. Think about it, you encountered him many times while investigating the case. Learned much about the police's movement from Adachi as well. No exact reason to doubt him, but something is bothering you. However, should you tell your friends about your suspicions about Adachi being the culprit? Relationship that's hard with Adachi, you don't want to think of him as the culprit. More than enough possibility, and you can't say for sure that he isn't. Sure, you don't want to tell your friends? Cannot think of anyone else but Adachi who could have been the culprit, but you don't want to hand him over as the culprit. Keep it within your heart without telling your friends.
It looks like our only option is to stay patient and continue our investigation. But regardless, the fact remains that Namatame has committed his crimes, and he has already been arrested.
So, no matter what we do, the case might be over now?
Though the truth will be forever lost in darkness.
Well, for us, it's more like it's lost in the fog.
Shortly after, he found a letter that Teddy left behind.
I
I'm going back to my own world. It's not easy to live there now, but it's my reality. I'm really, really thankful for everything all of you did for me. Well, goodbye.
Everyone will talk about the case and wait for the severe winter to end. So, time passed. You go home. Right down to tell your friends about Adachi. Probably last day you can see Adachi. Go see Adachi. In the police station interrogation room.
Sorry, were you waiting long? Man, things have been so busy. I've been putting in a crazy amount of overtime. Well, anyway, what's with the sudden visit? Can I help you with something?
Did you do it?
Do what? Me? Kill Mayumi Yamano and Saki Konishi? What's this about? Are you serious? Oh, come on. Even if you're kidding, this is a pretty bad joke. Did you forget? You're the ones who brought Namatame in. Oh, I get it. You're still playing detective. Okay. Say I am the culprit. What did you come here to do? Convince me to turn myself in?
No.
So, what? Are you trying to blackmail me?
No.
Well, listen up. Unlike you, we police aren't made of time. We still haven't even cleaned up Namatame's mess. Besides, you don't have any proof that I did it. Well, are you gonna keep playing detective?
I'm on your side.
You're on my side? Are you trying to be the hero or something? No, wait. You're saying you're on the killer's side. In front of a police officer. Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
I see. Wait here a sec. Do you remember this? It's the threatening letter that got sent to your house. I accidentally forgot to forward it over to forensics. I'm sure it was just a prank, but maybe it was connected to the murders. Who knows? This might be the piece of evidence that could turn this whole case upside down. The real killer wouldn't want the police to have this. But you're with me, right? So if I'm the real killer, and you're with me, then that makes you my partner in crime. Isn't that right?
It's a lighter.
If I send this to forensics, they might pull some evidence off it. Maybe a clue to capturing the real killer. You, your friends, and Dojima-san have all been busting your asses for a whole year to solve this case. It's a damn shame that no one's caught the real killer yet. Well?
Dachi's staring at you. Remember, you'll destroy the one piece of proof that exists. You betrayal of everything that's happened over the last year. Will you burn the letter? Burning smell permeates the room.
You actually did it! Do you understand what you just did? You destroyed evidence. That's a crime, you know? Now, this little incident is covered up forever. All because of you.
And it's the police's duty to keep tabs on those who've committed crimes.
Here's happy voice from your cell phone.
If you get calls from this number, you better pick up. There's no use changing your number. Don't underestimate the Japanese police. It's easy to track you down.
10. Adachi's number. Adachi is laughing. His vision was monstrous, but there can be no turning back now. Feel a strong bond between you and Adachi. Now establish a genuine bond. Genuine bonds shall be eyes to block the truth. But be bestowed upon these ability to create Magatsu Izanagi, ultimate form of the Jester Arcana. Now fuse Magatsu Izanagi, the Temper of the Void.
You want to find the truth without being swayed by the voices of society. But the truth is a sinister thing. It seems like something absolute, yet it exists in everyone's hearts. For you, this was the truth. Well, I'm going back, so be careful on your way home. The fog is getting thicker and thicker after all. Goodbye, partner.
No turning back now. Fog is outside is thick. Let's go home early.
Now, a follow-up report on the serial kidnapping and murder case that shook Inaba last year. Defendant Taro Namatame has confessed to committing the multiple kidnappings that previously seemed irrelevant. However, he continues to flatly deny his involvement in the first two murders. With so much unknown regarding his motives and methods, many are hoping his trial will shed some light on these mysteries. Up next is our fog forecast for today.
Fog is still covering the town, but it should soften somewhat this week with the coming of spring. Today and tomorrow will see fairly light amounts of fog as usual. Saturation from then on is still to be determined. If you have travel plans, please be mindful of visibility conditions.
It's almost time for your train. You ready to go? Too bad Nanako couldn't leave the hospital in time to say goodbye. A little more time and maybe she could have come outside. Feel free to come visit any time, okay? And say hi to your parents for me. There's no doubt he's the one who put Nanako through all this. But the more I interrogate him, the more I start to question myself. Did Namatame really murder two people?
I think so.
I see. Well, here's hoping it all comes out in our investigation. In any case, there haven't been any more bizarre incidents lately. Here's hoping Inaba goes back to its usual quiet self and stays that way. Well, we should get going. Your friends are probably waiting at the station. Come on.
You really are leaving us. You know, it was overdue quick.
It's going to get boring without you around, Senpai.
You will visit, won't you?
We'll come immediately if anything happens on your end. Be sure to take good care of yourself.
Take care. keep in touch, okay? I'll reserve a room for you at the Amagi Inn the next time you come.
Well, I'll see ya. You really helped us out with lots of stuff. Thanks, partner.
But is that truly the end?